Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I've got Olympic fever. Well, actually, my wife does. She won't turn it off.
I was trying to explain to my sons
It's a bit of a problem.
of what the Olympics are, and they're not that impressed.
See, Maisie is, but she's also into the dancing thing.
No, yeah.
So if I can turn on gymnastics, I got her.
Yeah.
You know, she'll just sit there and watch it. I mean, within reason. Like, don't get me wrong. It's slow. The pacing is slow. She wants to see the flips. She wants to see, the pommel horse and the floor routines and even the little, where you're jumping with a ribbon on a stick.
Oh, the twirling?
Yeah, twirl. I like the twirl.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want the judging. That's boring. The judging, the boring, the wait.
Numbers.
Yeah, then they go there, they're waiting, and then there's a No, she just wants to see all the flips.
Yeah. They should just break it down at the end of the day and show you just compilation highlights.
Kind of like Red Zone does.
And
here's every touchdown all day long. I love that. I'm like, I feel like I watched the day.
I'm sure they do that on some other media probably does that for you, like a quick recap of all. Maybe not, because maybe NBC puts the hammer down on anybody else rebroadcasting any of that, and they shut it down fast. I don't know.
It's
hard.
So much stuff. It's so big.
It is. There's so many different qualifiers, and then that's the thing too, is this is the qualifier.
I'm not even sure how they organize it.
It's nuts.
It sounds like it's too complicated. To me, the Olympics is so big, just stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what are we doing this for?
I'm like, it's too big, it's too hard. Like, you guys are working your ass off. We're in the middle of a pandemic. You got no viewers there. You're doing it, but are you doing it? I say you just got to give up. You just got to stop. It's too hard to do it.
It seems like...
Don't you kind of feel like it's a lot of effort when the world's going to end very soon?
It is a lot of effort. Going back to, I remember a long time ago I made a joke, and now it seems like a meme, an internet meme. Probably a million people have thought of this or have talked about it. The old, you need an average person next to whatever athlete.
Yeah, it's like our cartoon. We have a cartoon about this.
Okay, yeah.
You can see it on YouTube. We have an actual cartoon where Swervy Jones drew a little pizza maker who runs next to people.
So the same thing with all the swimming too. You need a lane with Chungus swimming like a regular fat dad, just trying to impress his kids, swim across the pool. Yeah. But I want to see how fast he is compared to these super athletes. How fast are they swimming? It looks fast, but I can't tell. Is that super impressive or not?
Give me somebody decent. Give me Johnny Redneck at the Glen, grew up on the water, knows how to swim well.
Okay,
surfed in his teens. Give me that guy.
Okay, yeah.
He's a good Florida man swimmer.
Against the big, long, whippy arms.
Okay, can we talk about the whippy arms? It is very, very off-putting. It is very, very unfortunate. If you watch it, it hurt. I can't. When they're slapping their tees and whipping, and their arms are like, wacky, wookie.
They whip their arms over their chest they slap their
back.
Slap.
Now, Ric Flair used to do it before a fight.
That's slap, but...
Woo! He'd do that, but they do like a big whippy. It's too much. Stop doing it. It looks weird. It looks like it hurts. And it also looks like an alien greeting.
Also impossible to do if you're a regular fat dad.
Well, we're not limber enough.
Yeah, we're stiff. My arms don't even whip.
I learned something here.
Dude, I'm not
Try
joking.
this. Okay, take this. Take your right arm, bring it up beside your head, okay, like this. They make me do this on my Peloton.
Oh.
Okay, put it right here. Can you go straight back and look away from your arm and then bring it around? You probably can't.
Around, to what?
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Okay.
Does that feel weird? Doesn't it feel like your arm's going to snap off? I'm so stiff. I'm the stiffest human being on the planet. That's pretty good.
It pushed something together in my chest.
Something bad?
Yeah, it pushed it.
Ooh, you turned white as a ghost.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It pushed.
Marla, can we get an ice cube in here?
Some sort of plaque broke off or something. Yeah.
Oh, man, you look bad.
That hurt.
Do the swimming girls do that?
They do it too, yeah.
It's not a boy thing.
Why the swimmer? You would think that their physique would be totally shredded But it's not.
No, sometimes the boy, the young man who came in second place. It was the two Americans, 1 and 2, and the guy that came in second, he's American, but he's known for like coming from behind. And when he got out of the water, I mean, this guy is a super athlete, except he's got a flabby belly.
Yeah, what is
and
that?
it made me like him. I'm like, yeah, go get you some flabby belly. It made me like him more.
Like the best female swimmer we have, like some, or maybe
she's like a
she
normal
Canadian?
person.
Either the
our best girl who lost, by the way, in the upset, she got second. She just looks like a normal, cute nerd girl.
But her, like she's tall and super athletic, muscular, but it's not shredded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's still fat on her. I mean, it's
I'm having a
way
problem
less
watching these volleyball girls.
But yeah, the volleyball girls
have you seen some
are
of these girls?
Shredded.
Dude, have you seen? There's
but
one
I'm like,
girl.
swimming burns more calories. Then I look at the swimmers and I'm like, turn to my wife. I'm like, you have no chance.
Yeah.
they're not shredded. You know how much training they do?
Oh yeah,
swimming fast and hard. I thought swimming was supposed to be the most
it is
strenuous exercise, but the volleyball girls
cardio. I think
are more shredded.
No, shredded has to do with your body type, not about the sport. So you can be a volleyball girl, and just if your body's not going to be shredded, like genetically, you're not.
Dude, but
predisposition for that.
They
do
the
seem more
girls,
shredded.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, there's
the swimmers
a lot
are
of
not.
tallies. Have you seen there's a couple of mega tallies in the volleyball. Normally girls. I think there's a girl that plays for the Belgian national beach volleyball team. She's 6'5". She has like pink hair. She's the tallest human being I've ever seen. Like, it looks crazy when you see her.
Yeah.
And I'm so into it because I like the tall ladies.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could get that tall.
They're
6'5", dude.
Okay,
come on now.
Let's talk about this because I've seen it in memes and just on Facebook and general social media or whatever.
I'm general social media, and I argue all the time.
And they do that thing where they sexualize, like the swimmer standing there and they zoom in their butts and then, divers. I think there's one with they're like Brazilian divers, and of course they have a giant mega ass, big brown Brazilian ass.
Some of them are staged.
I think Tony may have shared
Tony,
this.
I was gonna say that Tony Rage.
No, I feel Palmiotti. Or is it Rage?
I thought it was Rage. I think they're staged. I think they go to the pool. They're like, here, put on your Brazilian national team. Outfit. Now we're gonna pull it into a thonger and take the photo, make it look like you're part of the team. When they're gonna be more modest than that. They're not gonna wear a thonger.
So let's go to the volleyball, right? The beach volleyball, because
I feel like we're spiraling out of control right now.
No, I know. Then let me ask. This is a serious question.
Okay,
so,
put your serious hat on.
In what I remember, and I think this is still true, but I just don't know, is the volleyball players. And I remember the last Olympics, like the Brazilians and the ones. I mean, all of them have like a nice ass, right? Because the glutes. I'll just say it. I won't be a creepo, but I'm just saying they have ridiculous glutes from jumping. And they're athletes.
They say ridic glutes. Is what you say. Redonk, badonk.
And they would wear cheeky.
Shaky. Do I make you randy, baby? Yeah.
Good damn it.
They are.
But they show them off.
You just vetoed it. The story came out last week where they had like the men's national beach volleyball team just wear shorts and shirts. The girls wear like straight up bikinis. And they got fined.
But they're doing it themselves. They can wear compression shorts if they want to. No, they have to wear a bikini, punchy ass bikini.
Yeah, and that's what their balk is. They're like, why do you have these?
That's not fair.
Yeah, it isn't fair. Like you're over sexualizing the girls. And not at all sexualizing the guys.
I thought for a second that the girls wanted to wear that. That's
so.
how uniform is mandated.
No, they should be able to wear whatever they want to wear as long as they're winning the matches, right? Does it matter? They can wear sweatpants for all I care. It's volleyball. Like, it's not my business.
Well, I mean,
it's a job at the end of the day.
Obviously, you'd wear some sort of tight compression shorts, but
you can wear yoga pants and be perfect, right? Keep the sand out of your butt too.
Or like so you could. There's other now material and stuff. Like,
Pink promised to pay their fines. It was the Norwegian Norwegian team, and they got fined for not dressing appropriately because some of them wore like just regular shorts. God forbid they wear regular shorts instead of thong shorts.
That doesn't make me.
I knew. Yeah, I know. I know.
It is. I mean, here's the thing.
It's insanity.
All right. Listen, we are moving towards a world that gets rid of this is nonsense, obviously, and the logic of it is absurd that they're making them wear some sort of
well, they took their group pictures and like the guys are all fully covered in like sweatsuits and the girls are all like wearing like bikinis.
And it will be gone. Listen, we're headed there. I mean, it's.
But you're saying enjoy right now the hypocrisy and the comedy.
Just enjoy the comedy of how this is.
Yeah.
And I'm stupid and I'm a caveman and I enjoy looking at the butts.
Well, most people enjoy looking at the butts.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I do enjoy it and laugh at how
I lie. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
But that's absurd. I thought people were getting mad, but the volleyball players were like they wanted to wear that, and then the outrage was not was pointless because it's like you could wear compression shorts. They just chose to wear this.
Apparently they can't.
Okay, that's absurd.
Which is insane.
But back to like just the divers or like focusing on.
I haven't seen any diving. I've only seen swimming.
Good looking people's butts and bodies. Like guess what? As human beings, we all look at that, then we are like, but it's ridiculous because these people are the best athletes in the world, and they're not there to be sexualized.
Well, I got a question then. But they're not there to be sexualized. But in the original Olympics, when it all went down originally, it was a bunch of nude dudes, right?
Yeah.
Sitting around.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it was all nude dudes, right? Yeah. Probably no ladies participating.
It would be awesome, and I'm saying this for dudes too. If they did everything
nude,
that would be awesome.
The Nude Olympics.
I'm not even saying it. I'd watch the guys' sports just as much. I'm like, oh my god,
diving would be so much better with slow mo.
Look at him run and his dog.
Look at that thing.
Like, can you imagine?
My God, he's gonna have bruised thighs.
Could you imagine someone like?
Can you imagine
Bolt running?
Oh,
I mean, he probably could. I mean,
that's a big bolt.
Hold on,
that's a lightning bolt.
He wouldn't be able to run as fast without holding everything up to his body.
I don't know. I've never seen him run naked before. He might have a technique.
Yeah, but I think no matter what, and just based on...
I think you run it backwards like a hot dog bun.
Right?
You gotta run it. You gotta Pikachu tail it. You gotta tail it.
It has to, it would be a disadvantage.
The viewership, first of all, viewership would be through the roof, and you'd also you couldn't have kids participate anymore. You couldn't have any 13-year-old girls skateboarding nude.
Well,
that wouldn't work. I mean, it would for some people, some sickos out there. They'd be like, I've never been much of a fan. Might tune in today.
It would there's not one sport where it'd give you an advantage, right?
I was thinking diving.
No.
Going in the water cleanly, I feel like nude.
No, but
freshly shaved. If I shave my body, I can go into the water and dare I say, barely make a ripple that would break your reflection.
Maybe for a girl, but for a guy, because we have that.
You've never seen me down there, and when I'm nervous, it's gone.
You need to make it aerodynamic.
Oh, you've never. Again, you're speaking on that which you do not know.
Definitely not the hurdlers. That'll catch you.
Yeah.
That'll for sure knock the top.
That would be bad. Yeah, that would be bad. I'm thinking equestrian events would be weird.
Yeah.
Rowing wouldn't matter, really.
You're right. Rowing, maybe because less weight.
It might help you.
Rowing is the... Dude, you're genius.
Rowing might be the one, yeah.
It would actually help you doing it nude just because that fraction amount of weight...
Well, you slip around at first, but you got to let your cheeks grab. And it's just like anything you said. Once your cheeks grab... Well, you put some
ticky-tack on the seat.
Yeah, but you got to be careful when you're done with their heat. When you go to stand up, you got to go slow. If you go fast, you'll rip your ass off. You ever done that move where you're like on a raft or something, you go to get up and your thighs catch, and it's just like, yeah. It just rips the skin off your thighs.
Yeah. That's bad.
I got some voicemails that have been burning a hole in my pocket, buddy. So we're going to jump into these right now. Here we go.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Brother Sam, I was reading a story, and I wondered what you guys thought about it. But in Lemoore, California, at a drinking water plant, a 1.5 million gallon storage tank exploded. Legit, like 80 feet up the air. Somehow it was filled with combustible gas, and a dude was welding on it, and the damn thing literally ignited and exploded. It killed the guy, and there was hundreds of thousands of gallons that shot into the air and on the ground, and it did damage to the plant. Another worker got hurt. You got to look up the story because it's the craziest thing. There's a video of it. Legit.
This guy sounds like he needed to tell us the story. He's like, guys, I think it was your father, Dan, that was welding. Like, doesn't he sound like he wants to tell me something so bad? And I want to help him, and I'm like, I have no interest in seeing a man get blown off a water or whatever. I don't want to see anybody die.
You were panic telling us this,
Yeah,
as if the world depends on our answer or what. Like,
I think
why are you panicked?
I think all news that people deliver to me should be in that fashion, so my anxiety because that guy gave me anxiety. I didn't know what he was going to say.
He's panic talking. Calm down, bro. And also guess what? I know crazy atrocities happen all over the place. Like every once in a while, like remember that manure plant blew up in wherever the hell, it's like, oh, and then
these things happen, man.
Dude,
life is hard.
Yeah, but now there's video of everything, which is kind of cool, but it's terrifying because you're like, wow. Like there was an avalanche.
I got a video. Like they got video of everything.
Dude, there was an avalanche in India, and it's sad because there were like 22 people died, and someone had videos, rocks falling like big ass boulders. Did you see that?
This. Yeah. No, well, I didn't because when I see things like that, I go, I'm not watching that.
Well,
I'm sheltered now. I have to shelter my eyes.
It didn't show the rocks like hitting the van. Like they just reported that, but it did show a rock hitting a Britain. There was no one you didn't see anybody die in this video, but. Dude, it is rolling rocks down this mountain or whatever it is. And then
Latrobe, isn't that Latrobe?
And you're like, oh my God, like this is terrifying. And I'm surprised, like that dude is standing there videotaping it.
Okay, that brings up another video.
And I'm like, how are you not running for your life?
We have a problem with cell phones, and obviously we know that. I'm not bringing up something that we don't already know. But did you see the video of the guy? And these always happen in England because for some reason in England, you guys are obsessed with old world carnivals and small little traveling little things. I mean, Butler would know about this. It's a guy and he's on one of those things. It's the scaffolding. It's the hoop, and he's walking in the hoop.
Oh, yeah.
And the hoop's going around. And he's walking in the hoop, so it goes all the way up to the top, and he falls out the side, and then the other side swings around, and he lands his spine on the back of it. He's like, and then he falls down and goes, pong, and then he's on the grass, and then what I can only imagine is his sweet old wife runs over, and he's laying there writhing in pain, and like, I'm watching that. The video is somebody's videoing it, and you see them move to video him on the ground a little bit better. Throw your phone down and check on the man, for Christ's sake. What is happening?
That's gone.
How is that not an instinct? How do you not instinctually, like whenever my wife or daughter in my home, and maybe I'm dumb old man, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But when I hear a noise or if somebody screams, I could be holding a gallon of milk. I could be vacuuming. I could be anything. If I hear it, I drop what I'm doing and I rush to their aid.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm a good person. It's literally the way I'm wired to like, oh, what? Something's happening. You need to help. How can you be wired to hold a phone and watch a man plummet to the ground and not run over and check on him?
Now, maybe in a circus type scenario, you're just like, well, I'm assuming that the other.
I'm just here to document.
The other circus.
I'm a circus reporter, and all we do is we embed and we just document. We don't change the course of history.
But the thing is, people do this everywhere. We talked about the BDM that saves someone from a car that a seizure that like jumped in the water, and while other people just stood there and videotaped. I
can't save people with seizures, but I'm an excellent videographer.
Yeah. Like that's a whole thing now. It's when anything bad happens, or people just bring out their phones and videotape it.
I think you should slap their phones down before you save the person. As you're running by, you should slap the people's phones down.
Yeah, and now it's like everything's documented now. There's everything that's gone wrong or whatever. There's a video of now. I remember. Not to be the old men, but there was times where lots of things that happened that there's no video of.
Yeah.
Dude, I had stunts that I did for like Do Action Sports Tour or like some Monster Jam stuff that especially the Do Action Sports Tour because it's smaller. The Monster Jam, there's like one maybe old grainy cell phone video of it.
I have some old mini DVs of your stunts that I just recently punted into the
No, but it's like
I looked for them. One of them, the hard drive is corrupt. I can't get your videos off of it.
But it's like there's things that I did. There's no video evidence of. That's it, and that's it. That's bizarre to like thinking about now. Like you jumped some scooter at some halftime event at the Do Action Sports Tour. There was 5,000 people in the stands. There's not a video of it. Like I lost the one video that I had. It got stolen or whatever, and that was it. And so it's like it's bizarre.
That's crazy
because everything that happens now anywhere, any sporting event or whatever, there's multiple camera angles of because everybody's got a video camera in their pocket.
Yeah,
right? And they'll be like that forever, right? Even worse.
Yeah, it's pretty soon we'll be videoing all the time.
Yeah, it'll be something like it'll be built into your hat, and then it's like and then you have your whole day what you did, and then it gets saved on to some.
You know what? I want to sit back and watch my fedora for a little while. Oh wow!
I mean that's stupid.
That's
you
what
know
I
what?
watched.
That's not gonna happen. That's stupid.
You know what? I'm laying in my old man adjustable bed, watching videos I did today on my fedora. What happened today? Oh, I let that guy die at the fair. I let him fall to his death. That's interesting. All right.
You know what? Speaking of
that's no way to live, Tom.
The when video cameras first became more and more portable, because we lived through this in the 90s.
My dad bought
right?
one from Service Merchandise, a Panasonic shoulder mount.
Well, my mom had this shoulder
and
mount
a tripod. Too. It was for my soccer games.
Yeah, but
they were going to film it. By the way, we never watched one of my soccer games. Boring.
When like the smaller camcorders, the handheld camcorders started coming out.
That's handy cam.
The quintessential like 96.
Girls Gone Wild handy cam.
Those years we videotaped. It's funny because it seems like we videotaped too much because it was such a novelty that I remember like my mom would videotape the entire Christmas.
Yeah, everybody opening gifts. Yeah,
but it would be like a 2-hour video.
My dad would switch the tape.
Yeah. And like
Part
who's
2.
gonna watch 4-hour recap nonstop?
No, you never rewatched it. You'd record over those later when you needed. You'd be like, oh, damn, WrestleMania's on tonight. We need to tape over. So can we tape over opening the gifts? And my mom would be like, I don't care, goddammit. I told you and your dad not to order WrestleMania. Dad Lee put it in Andre the Giant's on.
Long ass video. So it's interesting that there was longer videos back then. Now it's all like I got 7 seconds to TikTok. I just gotta catch the
Here's
person.
Christmas. Open.
I'm gonna film the person's gonna be halfway off the building after he jumps before. You know what I'm saying? Like I just need the highlights. Just give me the ending.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey guys, this is Sean from Vegas. I was listening to ACT and heard that one person had their kids named Vincent and Jackson, and I also named my kids. My first 2 kids were named Deshaun and Watson, and then my second pair of 2 kids I named Aaron and Rogers. That's not true.
I thought you'd like that. It's not true at that.
I was about to scream. No way, that's true.
Yeah, I like the fact that he let us roll like that. Thank you, sir.
I thought that Deshaun Watson maybe.
Yeah, that one. The Aaron Rodgers one is dumb, but
except I started doing the math. I'm like, you're a nerdy white guy. No way you got away with Deshaun. Like maybe Watson. I had the Watson.
You know, I grew up with a family where the mom was like obsessed with. Oh man, be careful what I say. Obsessed with like traditional like African names, but they were a white family. But she named all of her children traditional African names.
Really? That's a rough go at it. In DeLand, Florida, right?
Maybe it was odd.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, some people have those parents.
I have no problem with it, but I'm saying, yeah.
But you have the professor dad and then the mom that she's a doctor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the super smart.
Yeah,
parents.
I babysitted for one of those kids. They were always hard because they always had like. The parents always had weird things they wanted you to do, and instead of just playing with the kid, you always had to do some sort of workbuck or something. And I'm like, God damn, I don't want to do that. I was like, this kid's smarter than I am.
I just need some regular Florida white trash.
Yeah, can I just need a kid that watches cartoons. What happened to those kids?
Yeah. Because the trashy parents, they'll like they give pizza. They're not that involved.
Yeah.
They
you watch a movie or something.
yeah,
Like this kid,
they'll throw chocolate at it. It's like,
Yeah.
why you guys screaming? Eat the chocolate.
Oh no! I remember this kid. I had to cut his grapes. He ate vegetables. I had to give him a bath. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Absolutely a mess. Here's one. You still stiff? More stiff than ever?
Oh
right?
yeah.
Hey guys, I got a diagnosis for Tom's stiffness disease. I've been seeing endless commercials on Hulu for something called stiff. So what is it called? Spondylosis. I forgot the name of it, man. It's something. Anyway, it's a stiffness disease or stiff, like where you have stiff ankle. It's called ankylosis. Spondylitis.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
No, I haven't got any ankylosing spondylitis.
Hold on, let's play it again. Butler, get in here. I need you to look something up.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
Hold on. All right, throw your
Ohio
headphones
State.
on. I need Butler to hear this so he can try to find this on at least his phone.
Got the name of it, man. It's something. Anyway, it's a stiffness disease or stiff, like where you have stiff ankle. It's called ankylosis. Spondylitis. Anyway, it's like a Frankenstein-itis, basically. And so now you
It's not called Frankenstein-itis.
Is it something?
take a pill if you have spondylosis, ankylositis, or whatever I said.
Ankylosing.
Anyway, that's it.
I love when our listeners die. I think all the drunk doctors call in to give us. I don't know why Steffi got the spondylitis, ankylosing.
So it's something that just makes your body stiff over
Butler,
time?
have you ever heard of spondylitis? Or
Spondylitis, yeah, that's I think it's. I mean, according to the internet right here, it's just a condition that's common among men, and it begins in early adulthood, and it's arthritis affecting large joints. Happens commonly in your spine, but I guess your ankle or whatever.
I got that.
No,
I got that. Everything on me hurts. What are you talking about? Like my.
Well, I'm just stiff. Like I'm, move stiff.
That's
I'm
why I
not
got
limber.
That's why I got the new bed. I'm hoping that helps.
Right.
I'm told that it will. When you wake up in the morning, are you stiff?
Not really in the
Do you
morning.
have a morning routine? Andrea's grandma, we talked about this last night, when every morning she'd wake up, she'd like pull her knees into her chest and roll into a ball, and then she'd get out and then she'd do like push-ups and then do like side planks and then do like a stretching routine.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, should I be doing that? I feel like I should be doing a stretching routine.
I mean, all the things that people that are old now are doing, probably a good idea.
Do you stretch?
You do. Because
yeah, I stretch a lot actually. I roll on a foam roller like multiple times a day.
Or you don't stretch, do you?
No,
ever.
no.
It's just the new thing I started doing during the pandemic. That's a new thing. I haven't stretched. Like now I keep track of them. I stretch every day. I've done like 175 stretches or something. Still not good enough. I'm still so stiff.
I want to go to the place that stretches
Stretch
me.
lab.
Yeah, yeah.
Stretch lab.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Yeah, it's right down the street.
But do they give you the thing at the end? the Watson.
Yeah.
So now that they've stretched you out, like, yeah, I'm sure in front of everybody there.
there's pill. I thought you went in a room like a massage room.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's wide open,
Hold
which I
on.
don't like.
Put me in a room
Yeah.
and with some music playing.
I like some of my.
What?
I like.
Like
some
I
of
want
my-
it to be.
I want to be wined and dined.
I don't want to
No,
be
I-
awkward. I'm in a gymnasium.
I don't like sharing my small talk with other people. If I'm small talking you, that's an intimate
Yeah.
sort of thing. That's me and you. You see what I'm saying? Like when the massage therapist is working on me,
Sharing a
even
breath.
if I've gone to like a massage envy, I do like a room because when I'm, wisecrack. Let's just say when I'm carrying on a conversation with you, it's gonna be a fun conversation. You're gonna
Okay,
like it,
yeah.
and I don't necessarily give that out for free.
You're an entertainer.
Yeah, I'm an entertainer.
That's where you're tipping the person
yeah.
with your sense of humor,
Thank you.
your quickness.
Yeah. That's why I keep my voice down at an Outback Steakhouse. I don't give these jokes out for free.
So the stretch, I thought it
Stretch
was,
Lab. Yeah, it's right next to the Sleep Number store. I saw it
and
yesterday.
it's an open gym scenario.
I believe so.
Okay.
And they
I don't
use
like
the
that.
bands and stuff on you.
Yeah.
Well, you go in, and first of all, you're going to write down like what your problem areas are if you have any limitations. Like for me, I'd have to say my left knee is rotten and my back is, I'd have to say my certain vertebrae are bad. And then they walk you through a thing. But I don't want that. I want him to go fast. I want him just to throw me on the table and just start getting at it.
Also, people fart all the time when they do those. And how does a person not laugh? Or at least make any sort of because
when you poot or boofy.
Yeah.
Choppers need not apply.
Because you see that on the internet where the person's stretching the person's leg like a baby.
Sometimes I'm pumping my wife and she'll fart, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, this is over.
I can't push past this.
I'll be like, ruined, and now it's hot in here. Sounds like somebody's been breathing down my neck.
No, I'm too awkward to tell anybody anything.
Oh, really? I'll stop.
I pretend like I didn't hear it.
Oh, well, that makes you a better person. I go, God damn! I'm like, I'm out. I get up mad. I march into the bathroom.
All right. Let's,
we can keep going. Let's power through.
Okay, yeah.
Let's power through, right. Just like we would if you had that. What do you got? Ankleitis, spondylitis?
And it's just a pill you take?
Well, yeah, just like Caesar the dog takes a pill that loosens his arthritis. It's called pain pills. They're great. Where have you been the last 10 years? When you have arthritis, you take pain pills. It doesn't matter if you're loose or not. You feel loose.
If I'm on Oxycontin, I can slide through the male slut like an octopus.
I do feel like that. You're right. I do feel like that.
I'm limber.
Yeah. Like when I'm on Oxycontin, this guy comes in, he's like, the bank accounts have been drained. I was like, we'll figure it out. Like, I'm positive. I'm positive on
it. Limber.
Yeah. My whole body's lubricated.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. We've been getting a lot of people calling that say they have business ideas for you. Normally, I would screen those out, but, I'm going to let them roll.
Hey, guys, this is Sean from Vegas. I'm just calling with another amazing business idea. I used to watch this movie a long time ago. It had Don Knotts in it, I think, and Tim Conway. It was called Private Eyes. And every day it was an invention that he had that was a gun that had a clock on the side of it. And every day at 4 o'clock, the gun would shoot. I mean, it seems, I don't really know. It seems like a good business idea. Somehow you can take that and mold it into more subscribers or something. Tom, you just do the rest of it. But that started you off, okay? So there you go.
So wait, it's a gun that fires at 4 o'clock.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but spin this into a business idea.
I love our callers.
Hold on.
First, I thought he was going to talk about the only Don Knotts movie that's great is The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. That's look that up. Look up The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I can improv here a business idea of the gun that shoots at 4 idea.
It sounds. I thought I could mold that into a terrifying horror movie, right?
Well, here's where I'm going with this idea is I'm going to market this gun that shoots at 4 p.m., and I'm sorry, but I'm marking it real right-wing gun nut because I feel like
whatever I'm not judging. You're a businessman.
Because I feel like if you could buy the gun that shoots at 4, you can place it at certain places and get away with shooting people by saying, hey, it shot at 4.
Well, it's like the gun that you tie to the helium balloons. You blow your brains out and the gun floats away and then your family gets the insurance money, right?
Although that does take away your argument of people kill people, guns. So maybe I got nothing.
People don't kill people. Actually, it's these guns that fire at 4 p.m. These things are crazy dangerous.
I'm marketing it left. I mean, and then so they can
hold it up fire at 4 p.m.
See, these are killing people at 4.
There you go.
Anyway.
Let's see.
Oh,
yes, sir.
So,
I left my gun that fires at 3 loaded. Gotta drive home.
So, I have to make an apology to you.
To me?
Yeah. Because you've been telling me about Holy Moly for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been like brushing it off or whatever. I didn't listen to you to even check out.
Wriggle. It's Wriggle. Wriggle's he's the saving grace.
And I just never, I was like, whatever, another stupid Wipeout or whatever, and
I get it.
We started watching it with the boys and they love it and we love it. And
it's a good show.
And now we're going back and then watching season 1 the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a new family show.
I told you they added the poop water.
Wriggle and that other dude, they're funny together. They push the envelope a little bit.
They do.
And then in the one course, there was like dinosaur bones, and then Robert Riggles kept saying boner alert, and then the other guy saying that's not gonna pass, like because they were joking around about it passing through like standards and practices because they all and it was hilarious. And then so I'm like, I'm nerd dad laughing, and then the boys and then the popcorn blows them off. So then I'm like, it's good.
Brock told me the secret to this, and he's right. This is like the third or fourth time that Brock BDM in our Twitch chat room has shared a wealth of knowledge about Holy Moly. They film really late. It's really cold. So a lot of your best jokes and the riffing that you get, these guys are like punchy, and it's late, and they probably don't want to be there, and they've been recording like 9 different episodes. It's long.
They record all the...
And it's really, really, really funny. Like some of the improv that they do, and they let it go sometimes, you can tell that whoever's editing it isn't old. You can tell that whoever they have editing it is like, let it roll a little bit. Like, take a chance here, or make that a little weird, Yeah. I don't know if Steph Curry's. I don't know if that's his doing.
They make fun of themselves.
It's a good family show.
Another season, they had a Christmas pole, and then you had to zip line down and then jump off it and grab the pole, whatever. And they're like, they made a reference like, this looks a lot like this other, because they just recycled the same thing.
Crap on their own show.
And then, they crap on their show. I'm like, it's good.
That's what we do.
No, I know. But most people and producers and stuff, they take themselves too seriously. They wouldn't do that route. It's something like, that's good.
Their cut scenes are good, too. And I love if you're going to do like little vignettes that play in between, they got to be fast and they got to be stupid. And they're really good at doing fast and stupid correctly.
And I like the fact that it is cold, and then once they fall in the water, they make them do their next putt while steam comes off. They're shivering. And then I'm like, yes, because it's not, they don't make it comfortable for them. Like, we need to change our clothes, your dry clothes. They make them putt while steam, and they're shivering. And I'm like, that's good,
And there's nothing funnier than when like a dumb old man gets blown off the scaffolding. Like the popcorn one is really good because they're using like airbags to blow people around. It's great. And a lot of the physical challenges are impossible. Like, there's no way to solve them, so you're guaranteed a poop water splash.
Yeah. I saw them, they did one where the poop water one. I'm like, no one's making that run.
You can't.
The last person's knocking them off every single time.
Yeah.
Good.
I like that. Here, I think we got time for one more.
Coochie Cutters, what's up? BDM Manny here. If you were a UFC fighter, what song would you walk out to? Maybe a secondary song. I'll discuss when you guys hang up. Masticating massive memories. Deucers. Well, probably that could be Step Into the World by KRS-One.
Got some weird colors, man. You got a UFC, like you're a UFC fighter. What song do you walk into?
See, Seth has always gone the joke route. Because I would rather lean more towards the joke route, because it seems like, all right, I'm a professional fighter. Like, I don't need the music to hype me up as I walk out. Like, that was the whole point, is like this hype music. And it's like, so I'd rather go funny, because no music that I choose is actually going to help me fight, because I already know what I have to do. And that's, so I would do, a Weird Al, my Corona. Or eat it.
I think
it's stupid, whatever it is.
Because you're not like normally like emotionally charged.
Yeah.
I think I would need a
hype song.
Yeah, I think I would.
Oh, this is my hype song, Katy Perry.
That's not Katy Perry.
I don't know.
Fight song. It's fight song. Not hype song. Write that down. Hey, we have a category for that. This is my hype song. Katy Perry. And it's not Katy Perry. It's fight song by, and I forget the girl's name. But she's, that's the last category we needed. Sam's going to be so happy. You did it, buddy.
If it's like, what song are you going to choose? You have to go like, you can't go anything like this popular this moment.
I think I'm going to pick like.
You need some sort of thing.
I think I'm going to pick Brick by the Benz Fold 5, which is about getting your teen girlfriend an abortion.
Like, I always liked Felicia going out to only Queen songs, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. There are some guys, though, when you see it, it's done right. This is bigger than just, like, UFC fighters. I've always kind of liked it when you see, like, a really good comedian walk out to something cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure like
That's
a
usually
Dave
because
Chappelle
they're
or,
friends
yeah.
with the band or artist or whatever.
They are,
So it's
but
like
sometimes it's something that just fits. You
Yeah,
know,
well, yeah.
you hear him walk out and you're like, oh yeah, like it sets the mood. I don't know. I'm into it.
Do you have to get any sort of permission? You know, let's think about this because that's
I don't know.
You're doing a pay-per-view broadcast or like
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
And so like the song has to be approved, right? Or like it has to be an ASCAP thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a fair use or
I
maybe
would think so, yeah, because back in the day, the WWF, I mean, they all had original songs, right? I mean, from Stone Cold to D-Generation X and all that.
But that
Yeah.
may be different because the whole thing is a production.
Well,
and
they
then
have a
fight.
company. Like they have that particular. You can look them up. I believe they're called the CFOs. That's the name of the two guys that write all the music for like WWE.
Yeah.
And dude, they're killing it because like their songs are popular too, and they're just excellent musicians. They write everything, and then they make it like the one that I really like is there's a particular wrestler, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna give this guy like the Bubba Sparks, so they give him like the Southern fried rap. And then, like, for this
But
girl...
they make it
Yeah, but they
themselves,
just...
so they own it.
Yeah, they just go like, for her, we're going to make it sound a little Beyonce, edgy Beyonce, and then they'll give it that. Like, it's really
Yeah, it's
cool.
two guys that actually own that entire company, yeah.
Yep, two guys that do it.
Well, I'm sure. Do
John
they?
and Michael.
They own it, and then they just sell.
Oh,
it.
no, they got canned by the WWE. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you, Ghost, for the update.
I wonder if they were just like, we'll do it internally. I wonder if it started
Probably.
like that, and then it just got so big and corporate.
I always
they're
thought
like,
that they were internally. So that was always the joke
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
where I was like, oh, well, those are the guys that WWE hired to write the
write that.
songs.
They did it for 7 years.
Yeah, apparently. Well, they made a ton of money, and like most of the themes that are being used right now are those guys.
Yeah, but you say they make a ton of money, but if they're hired by the company for their job, and it's like, all right, you get paid 40
not
grand
as much
a year.
as they could have made.
Well, they're not selling individual songs and then basing like off the popularity of the song later, making any sort of royalties.
Right.
It's just like they just get paid,
Yeah.
a salaries to just sit and then create jingles for these wrestlers, and they pick the one they like the most.
Now-
But they don't own any rights to any of it.
I will say
I would assume.
it is cooler when you have that original wrestler who walks out to like a real song. Like CM Punk, I believe at one time had licensed Living Colour's Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
So when you would hear that hit and he would come out, it almost like you gave him you're like, oh, he got the money to do the big dog. Like he
Yeah.
licensed the real stuff,
It is.
which was always a little bit better.
And it makes you seem bigger or whatever, that like you're aligning yourself with a artist that's already popular. But I'm sure it's just all corporation stuff where like we want to own everything. You know what I'm saying? Like just like every corporation that, we don't want another song. We'd rather own the rights to it so we can sell it in our mixed
100%, yeah.
But in whatever we're doing,
Yeah, well, they're still doing that. They put out compilation discs, of
Wrestling songs,
songs, and wrestling guys will buy that because, find me a group of guys that's more loyal than wrestling guys. Seriously.
If you bought a wrestling
These guys are
compilation
loyal.
CD, you're a real nerd.
Oh, I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I
Back
did
in
when I
around
was
2000,
a kid.
I did.
Yeah, I think Butler and I probably both did. I had because I love the cartoon. The Hulk Hogan, take your vitamins, eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
Remember say your prayers.
Mine was around 2000 when WrestleMania 2000 was out. D-Generation.
Well, you guys are
X,
younger than me.
NWO, all that.
What was
Stone
that?
Cold.
Rockin'? It was the Saturday Rockin' Wrestling.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
For whatever reason, I'm still trying to figure out like why I never got into wrestling. Like it
Oh man, you were primed for it. I mean,
it maybe because none of my friends were into it.
it was the Spanish influence of Miami. Are they into wrestling? Yeah, a lot of my Spanish
sure,
buddies
yeah.
are into wrestling.
Yeah.
I dragged a lot of my friends into it. They we would come over on a Sunday or whatever. We would watch WrestleMania, and they wouldn't know anything about it, but they would leave.
I was trying to find like your connection to like your Latin friends, but no, all my Spanish friends that I grew up with loved wrestling, so that's not going to work.
Maybe the we didn't have much of an adolescence, and the fact that like I went pretty fast into punk rock and cigarettes and partying. And there was never like
Did you think
11 to 14, I was into like the kid stuff. They were still innocent, like wrestling or whatever. It was like boom, as soon as I turned 13 or whatever, it was like smoking cigarettes, punk rock on the streets of Miami with all my other friends. Did the same thing. They didn't have anybody watching them, so it was all hanging out together.
You're talking about something that I've recently experienced, where it seems like there will be a period of time that everyone I know was into something that I was not a part of, and it freaks me out. Like what you're describing of like all these, like there were different people that liked wrestling, sure, and it wasn't in your vein. But there have been times recently where people will tell me something that they did, and they're like, oh yeah, everybody did that. And I'm like, I miss that.
Some you groups, I mean, not everybody, but in their term, they think everybody.
Is it going to be more segmented than ever now?
Oh,
right?
yeah. No one will have the same experience.
That was kind of the point I was going at, is that like you won't have these shared experiences.
No, you know what it was? You know what the new shared experience is that I talked to every one of my friends about when they're kids. They all like watching people play video games. And that's a shared experience with this generation is like every one of their kids, all these kids, the one thing they have in common is that they love watching people play video games. They all love it.
We get in with this because this is sad. Norm says, as a kid, I brought a Goldberg sucks signs to a WCW match, and they made me throw it away.
Hold on. Oh, because it wasn't like
maybe it wasn't
approved
pro Goldberg or something. Yeah,
they have a narrative.
They control the message.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
You got to have it on the backside.
Yeah, yeah, you got to put it in your pants.
I like as a
Norm.
kid, I'd be like, hold on, they all have signs. You can't think we give those signs, you idiot. We make those. This is a giant corporation. What do you think this is?
Uh-oh, bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. So you got your grievances hat on, I see, and you got something on your mind, buddy?
Okay, so I've gotten more emails recently about the poolber and like people like, this is your idea, like that.
Well, no. There is no poolber.
Yeah.
There's Swimly.
Yes, yeah.
Which I believe is a company where you can.
Yeah.
And I owe you an
Rent out your
apology.
pool.
I thought that Poolber, your idea that's oddly similar to the idea of Swimly, I said it was the dumbest idea I'd ever heard of, and apparently not, because Swimly is doing very well.
You say that, and
well, they say Swimly says they're doing
yeah.
well. They could be like the coolest cooler.
so okay.
You know, coolest cooler said they were doing well, and they were a horrible match.
When I originally, I think I during the show jokingly came up with the poolber idea.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I just was going on the line of logic that okay, if Uber and then you just becoming your own taxi service and stuff like. Everything like RV share and all stuff, like they'll probably do it with everything, cars, your pool. And then I just did that math and I just went down and I picked pool as one of them because I hadn't heard of it. And then obviously it happened, right? It was inevitable if you think about it. It's like, dude, there's a new one where you could rent out your own yard or side yard for storage for people. Like it's people basically, not crowdfunding, but peer-to-peer sharing, like
their land. So like
their land or the
so
side.
I got a shed, and some guy can bring his old pavers over and throw them on my land.
Or like if you've got
That's stupid.
If you've got like a side of your house that has like a concrete pad for an RV or a boat, and you don't use it, someone else can rent it from you for their boat. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
so it's like,
I see.
So it's like instead of going to like one of these like boat places that are pretty expensive, like a corporation or whatever, your neighbor has like a pad that he's not using, and then you just rent it out from him.
Okay.
So, but that of course everything is going to be like shared that way because it's and actually more efficient too, because it's like if one of your neighbors has the space. And you need a place to put your boat, and he's like, "Oh, you can just put it in my yard, you know." But now there's a way to pay.
He wouldn't even charge you, right?
Well, the old school. But the thing is, I don't want my neighbor putting my boat in my side yard. But if he'll pay me $100 a month or like $80 a month, then I'm like, then
it makes more sense. Yeah, I'm not anti these sort of things at all. It just seems like a lot of trouble.
Here's why Swimly and Poolber, in my opinion, will never be a thing.
Shedly,
even though it is something right now. I read the story, and you could try to find it. It was about Swimly, and a couple makes $111,000, not even in a year, with using the Swimly. And then I'm like, all right. First, when I saw that, I saw that number, and I was like, well, it has to be a real nice pool, first of all, like for them to even make that. And then I started doubting. I was like, this sounds awfully like an article put out by Swimly to get the news agencies to report on it so they can get free publicity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that happens, and people still don't realize, like, for sure companies are manipulating media And by media, there's a million different media.
There's no way this is true, right?
I read the story because I wanted to dive into it a little more. And now I'm super skeptical, and I may be wrong, but it screamed to me that maybe Swimly or the app, this is a friend or someone. This person was somehow.
It's like they sponsored somebody. They propped them up.
Yeah, so that they can make a bunch of money, and maybe they even got paid behind the scenes to do this so they could report the fact that they ran this much money through. Because when you read the story, okay, so first, these people are in the optimal setup for this Swimly, right? Because their pool, they obviously live in like a giant house, right? And
it's a mansion for sure.
And their pool is one of those, like, this is like up north pool where your pool is far away from your house. Like down here in Florida, your pool's in your backyard, right? It's like right out your front door or your back door.
Right.
So this pool is like further from their house, and there's like a separate pool house connected to it. And it basically is in the middle of their property, but far, right? So that's, the people that are using it aren't going to bother you, per se. They're not right out your bedroom back door.
Yeah, they kind of address it in here. This guy apparently stayed home every time it was rented because he likes to kind of maintain control over it. They said they've had over 2,700 guests. I don't believe that.
Well, also, it's like, first, you're rich because of the house you live in, right? And second, who's got the time to watch a bunch of people renting your pool every single day? Are you like, maybe he works at home and he can look out the window and just see, but I'm like, this seems like a gigantic headache for someone who's already rich. And I understand that that's a lot of money to make extra, but there were so many red flags that came up. I'm like, this is BS. Because I started thinking about, like, if I wanted to rent my pool out, right? I know I'm essing on my own idea here because it's a stupid idea.
Well, you're just trying to get to the bottom of this tall tale.
Yeah, because they say, like, we suggest that homeowners watch the people, like, stay home when people are using your pool. That way, if anything happens, so it's like. And they said the suggested price, like $75 an hour with a group up to 5 people or whatever. So I'm like, all right, $150 every 2 hours and stuff. But you still got people in your backyard using your pool that you're having to keep a track of and watch, which is an awkward thing. And it's like, do you have a bathroom? Are they going to have to use your bathroom? Or are they just going in your pool?
Like, these guys have
like a separate
pool house, which, by the way, that
who's
means
got
you're rich.
that? Yeah, who's got that? Like, if you got a pool house and a pool that's secluded from your house, like, yeah, it's set up perfect for Swimly, but who is going to be rich enough and care about that extra income to have the time to watch a bunch of people rent your pool?
Well, that's kind of like what somebody said in the chat room. They said, if you're assuming the article is true, I would much rather make twice the amount of money I make at my job and just sit at home and supervise the pool. But it's not true.
That's the thing. And, you'd have to have the perfect setup. And I'm saying, I know a lot of, people that have made a lot of money, and none of them are interested in, like, hammering it out as far as, like, doing these Uber type, or, like, I know some people have Airbnbs and have money and stuff.
Oh, that's different.
It basically,
it's an investment property at that point.
And that's not watching a family in your backyard, and making sure they're cool or whatever. And they come. It seems like a pain in the ass that is not. Is this realistic for a person to do?
Are you supposed to be on site, or is this supposed to be sight unseen? It's supposed to be sort of sight unseen, right?
Well, you're just looking out your window at the people that.
But there are these that they set up where you're not even there, right? What's the insurance liability on me not being there? Because, okay, here's where I'm going with it. I remember the whole attractive nuisance thing. I remember my dad having to get a privacy fence around the pool to keep people from just wandering in, keep children from wandering in. He had to have a security gate with a lock on it.
Yeah.
There's, like, rules for insurance, right? So what does the insurance do now that I'm in Orlando, St. Augustine, I'm renting out my pool. You're going to use it, and you're a family there, and something happens. I'm not on premises.
Well, it's just like Airbnb. Like, there's a million Airbnb houses with pools and stuff that you could use, including, like, that one we stayed in Davenport and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but Airbnb has their own insurance policy, and that's part of, like, the the benefit of using them, so they'll have $1 million in liability. I read some story in this story. They
give you $1 million. Yeah,
they have $1 million. So if anything happens, and apparently they got $1 million, and they got probably a team of lawyers that make it hard to even get the $1 million. So it's like one of those things where if you're a big enough company like an Airbnb, RV share, or whatever, they partner with an insurance agency or a company that's willing to insure this, because it's such a
Does my insurance company have a say in that if I'm renting out my pool?
I don't know. That's where it becomes weird. We should ask Blanchard about that, because that's where it probably.
If they found out, could they say, "Well,
we're going to take your homeowner's insurance"? Yeah, like, because I'm sure they'll be like, okay, they could sue Swimly, but then they'll sue the homeowner's insurance too, right? Like nowadays, dude, my buddy Turkey Leg, his insurance. I think it was Alex. Okay, a different buddy of mine. He thinks, that his insurance used a drone to see that there was a trampoline in his backyard and then canceled him because of the trampoline. Because he's got a big property and he's like, there's no way to see it from the front.
Yeah, how would you even know?
And then I'm like, no one's like, also.
Well, I don't have the time to call the insurance company on Alex,
but
or your buddy or whatever.
And I never heard them getting dropped for a trampoline, but apparently, like, I know diving board, that was the whole thing.
I remember my dad pulling ours out.
You can't have a diving board because they'll drop you or something like.
Do you know how many kids I know that their pools have those just metal bolts, which, by the way, are just as dangerous as the diving board because you hit them with your feet.
No, yeah.
Because everybody's dad would go and unbolt the diving board and leave the bolts in the gunite.
We're still in the willy-nilly phase of these things where they haven't been around long enough for us to have a catastrophe or something that reshapes the how these businesses are done.
The great pool bear fires.
Or but so far it seems to be working. Look how popular Airbnb is, and it doesn't seem like people are getting sued left and right. And for the most part, like, even though we hear about it all the time, like people drowning in pools is rare. We just hear about it, so we think that it happens.
We get more of it because, like, we're in the pool year round here. So,
well, you hear about the kids all the time, but honestly, that's still rare. Like, we say all the time, but how you'll hear every couple weeks, like, some toddler drowns in a pool, and you're like, oh my god! But really, that's every couple weeks, and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people swimming at all time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So statistically still rare.
One of the first things I thought of, and I thought of this when Airbnb, immediately I thought of the movie Sliver, where dudes got cameras in every room. Then I thought,
again, that is rare.
With Swimply, I thought, like underwater camera. There's just somebody going to be monkeying it up, making it gross.
Again, I think we hear those stories about the hidden cameras, which happen, but it's rare. So it's the anomaly, but we go to that because we are like, oh, that worst case scenario. Yeah. They're going to film you nude and put it on the internet.
God, what kind of... I remember there used to be a spy store, because I think it's just curiosity. I'm not this guy, but there are these guys that are into,
cameras everywhere.
Yeah. And there used to be a spy store in, I want to say, over near the Bubbaloo's Barbecue. You'd pass Bubbaloo's Barbecue. Look at the right.
I remember I used to go to the spy store when I was a teenager.
And like...
Barbers All Can, Unscrewed, Butcher Jewels. Yeah.
Exactly. But they always had, like, the hidden cameras in there. Like, the ones that you would use to catch people in the act of doing horrible things,
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to catch this nanny knocking around my kid. I'm going to put like you'd
but
put
that was what they were marketed to. It's kind of like,
but nobody ever used. It's like fireworks and birds.
Yes. Also, like that wand massager that's white with the
the knob on the top. The knob on top. We know what that's for.
Yeah, like that's marketed as like, hey, that's a massager back. Yeah. But everybody uses it for that.
One thing and one thing only, and it ain't your back.
So the spy cams, they were marketed like you were going to catch your nanny beating up your kid.
Well, you were catching your nanny. You're just catching your pee, which is way different than beating your child.
Yes, yeah. And they're all used for that.
I would watch both, though.
And
one just to to serve justice. Though.
God, remember when? What's the NFL? She was a sideline reporter, Julie. Andrews.
You're talking. Not Julie Andrews. That's Sound of Music.
Okay, but
this is good though. I feel like we should put this in the awards somewhere. Aaron Andrews,
yeah. So that is like, oh man, I felt bad for her because like some creepo reversed the peephole
worst
in
of
the door,
worst. Ultimate, like,
and then filmed her just like
it's the worst of the worst.
getting changed after a shower, and they
Worst
put up,
of the worst.
It's like, my God. Also, you think like him, he would be scared. Like,
Didn't he not get?
I think they arrested him, and like,
Yeah, but I don't think it was like a big, like, it is a big deal.
They
But
sued the hell out of the La Quinta or whatever corporation.
Well, I
or
feel like I mean, when you do something like that, I mean, you've changed your life forever, right? You should be behind bars for a very long time.
well, he's just like, this guy has a mental problem, and you should watch him because he's
Or will it be
insane.
one of those cases, like if you talk to, I don't know much about the story, where you'd be like, oh my God, that went way too far. That was bad.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, there's certain.
He got 30 months. That's what I thought. It was like nothing. Like, it was like, you
because
got nothing. No big deal, but changed my life forever and will give me like mental, like a psychological scars for the rest of my life, and you get 30 months. No biggie.
I think it's one of those cases where like the crime is on the books as this is what the crime is, which is, you're tampering with someone in a hotel room. They probably tried to get him with every
Yeah, but it
single
got
thing.
out. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because once it goes to the internet, it gets out, right?
Did he put it on the internet?
That I don't know.
Did he try to sell it to someone or something?
I like
weird.
having Sam here to look up the details and correct everything. If not, you and I just go like, I think something. I think of the girl. Who's the girl? Julie Andrews? Yeah. Sound of Music? Yeah.
Anyway, that must have been. Then imagine if you're her, and then you're just like, you're traveling, you're with the NFL covering some game or whatever, and then it breaks, and then that's how you hear up on the internet, and then your video of you nude.
I don't know if I come back from that.
Is that? Well.
You know what I mean? I'm a pretty sensitive cat. Something like that happens, you bury your head in the sand and never come back.
Well, no. If you being nude came on the internet.
No. I mean, if I were her, I'm saying if I had my sensitivity in her body.
What have happened to you?
I just don't think you come back from that.
No. You personally, like, I videotape you nude, which
Right
I was
now?
going to do at my house.
Well, I mean, it would. First of all, it would break this entire company apart. That'd be bad.
What if I just put you nude on the internet?
Do you put it on the BDM section? Are you charging for it?
No.
Did you release it? Why did you release it? Were you trying to knock me down a peg?
By accident. I released it by accident. I filmed you for my own purposes,
and then you drop your phone off to get the screen replaced, and the
they
tech
steal
there
it. Yes.
sucked the video down. They downloaded it.
I just filmed it for my own personal use.
Man, I don't know. With a kid now, I'm trying to give you an accurate answer, not a goof answer.
You're just nude. It's not like you're doing anything nefarious. So
where am I at?
You're just changing in my bathroom, and I have the old pen cam.
Oh, okay. I'm just changing?
Yeah, you're changing. But
that one's okay. That one's okay.
But you're bending over, and you're trying to get your underwear on, you're bouncing. And
I mean, it'd be a meme forever in the BDM section, right? Like forever.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have a screenshot of me bent over brown, city, and they'd be riding under it.
No, I think now
it'd never go away.
Nowadays, I think the BDMs would be cool enough to be like, hey, Tom shouldn't have done that.
No way, dude. Are you crazy? No,
I think they'd be sensitive. If we did it by accident, it got out and you didn't want it out, and you're like, hey, please.
I guess if I did appeal to them and be like, guys, please, but occasionally a new guy would wander in and be like, look at this! Oh my God, look at this! And everybody would be like, hey, you didn't, and then they'd DM him privately and be like,
and Tony takes it off.
Dan's gonna get really,
You can't have that up there. Oh, God.
But it still exists. It's floating around. Anyway.
Oh man, that's terrifying. I mean, but not as bad as I thought. Now, what if it's a video of me doing
Well,
that's different. I think because I think if the video is me doing something with fervent purpose.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna
you're hammer handing, and they stole the video. They try to blackmail the people, saying we got the video. That is more embarrassing, obviously, because it's like, oh man, why look at you, look at you.
But I do like those. I like those videos.
Look what you're doing.
You're most helpless.
Yeah. Look what you're doing. Like getting changed.
You're like a turtle without a shell sitting out there.
Because I feel like, all right, someone takes a video of me getting changed.
Yeah, well, you look like what you look like, whatever.
And this has nothing to do with anybody who's gone through this, because obviously it's completely different. Personally to everybody, and also if you're a woman.
You don't need to preface it. We're using hypotheticals.
I'm saying, but people are like, oh, you're discounting what this person.
No, you're not. You have to say that to discount it.
It's me. If it got, I'm not sure. I would be embarrassed, but at a certain point, you got to look at the logic. You're like, all right, someone filmed me getting dressed. Like, I know, it's after I got out of the pool. Maybe things are tiny. It's not impressive, or something like that. That's the only really embarrassing. Other than that, it's like, yeah, I'm not in the best shape. A little fat dad, but it's like, all right, it's not gonna ruin my life. I think I would be like, embarrassed for a couple weeks, but then it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I also think that, and maybe I'm a dumb old man, but I think in these type of situations, for the most part,
now hammer handing,
it's different for like a guy than it is for a girl.
No, 100%,
like, completely.
Yeah. No, I 100%.
Because we don't care. Guys are a little bit more like. Plus, our bodies aren't the ones that are constantly told to cover up, right? Our bodies are the ones that are, for the most part, we run them wide open. I am noticing you're seeing a lot more dongers in movies, and videos, and shows.
Yeah. Dude,
what a time to be alive. Like, if you're a gay man, I mean, there are more dongs than ever in shows.
Well, it's not even...
Butler showed me one the other day that was just, it was all weenies.
Here's the thing, that's, like, it has nothing, in my mind, even where it's like, to enjoy looking at that. Like, I like to see that. And some people do,
no, I think it tells the story better.
Well,
I like that.
It's more realistic when they just show it, and then I like the movie better.
I like donors. I don't pull away.
Just because it's like, it showed me that the director of the movie or whatever, they are like...
Doesn't think I'm a baby.
Yeah. It's like, this is an adult movie. Of course, that's what a donger looks like.
The first one I saw, like, in a feature film, I forget what movie it is, but Harvey Keitel's jumping around in the woods and his weenie's out, and I'm like... I remember thinking, obviously this is a good movie because they left it in there.
It means it's an adult movie to me way more than any, like even topless, because obviously it has more of a shock.
Norm says, I hate all sex scenes / nudity as an adult. Takes away from the movie every time, never adds to it.
Norm, you can't say that because there's lots of movies that the nudity scenes have really been what the movie's been about.
Hangover.
Well, Sharon Stone, the Basic Instinct.
Oh my God, that made the movie.
That's the most popular thing in that movie.
He wants you to name 8 movies that have pivotal nudity.
Pivotal nudity?
Pivotal nudity.
Well... Sharon Stone.
Yeah, and Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct. The fight scene and what's that where the guys are Russian and he's in the bathhouse. It's like
there
Viggo
will be blood.
Mortensen. No. Viggo Mortensen's fighting some Russians and it's a full-on dong fight.
I remember that, the dog fight. Yeah, I remember that.
It's Viggo Mortensen in some sort of...
I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah, and he's fighting some Russians in a bathhouse and they're both dongs are out and I'm like, this is the only reason I remember this movie is because it's a full-on Russian dong fight. And so that one...
I don't think it takes away...
Titanic.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that with my mom, and she cried at the end. It was the first time I ever saw my mom cry.
God.
which is weird.
I think my dad cried at the end of Indiana Jones.
But also, I remember sitting
But I think it was because the tape got stuck in the VCR, and my dad knew he couldn't find a Zenith repairman to fix our VCR. I'm
trying to think of the quintessential like coming
Showgirls.
to age. Yeah, you can't do Showgirls without it's NC. It was the first NC-17 movie that it was a big deal.
Here's one: the nudity in Coming to America, the first one, when the royal penis is clean and the
yes,
when you see that, like if you take the nudity out of that, it's not as serious, and you don't think of the luxury, the opulence. It's
not really even a rated R movie without that with the tease. And then as a kid, when I watched it, I was like, whoa!
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah, but also it meant that you were watching an adult movie. Because without the tease in that movie, they have some cursing or whatever. It's just fine. Like the Louis Anderson and McDowell's.
How do you have those discussions as a director? Seriously, when you're providing things like a fan service, like a topless shot, like somebody mentioned Swordfish. When you see Halle Berry's topless in that, I mean, one of the most beautiful women of all time. But, like, I wouldn't say that you make the movie better by removing that scene. In fact, I think that scene was the reason, like, when people found out that Halle Berry was topless in Swordfish.
They did to market it,
people went nuts.
I'm sure they had a conversation. They're like, okay, we need like an actress. I mean, this is also a different time too. It was like, there was full on, and I'm so sure there still is, but like, I mean, this is the Weinstein era. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the Weinsteins and walking around. So it's like they probably wrote a movie, or at least looked at a script, and then like, all right, we're going to market this movie and we're going to get a female lead and that's never been topless. And then we're going to have, and did Halle Berry do topless before that? I remember it being a big deal.
I don't believe so.
I assume that she didn't.
I don't believe so. Like, there's some pivotal roles that, like, Charlize Theron in, what was it? The Devil.
Monsters Ball?
Devil's Advocate. Thank you, EJ. Yeah.
Dude, that was another one where it's like,
you're like, I remember that one because I believe there's blood involved in that, and she's walking out naked, and like she's got a piece of glass in her hand. I think I remember.
Yeah. They did a little with Aniston too, but a lot of it was wasn't a stunt like.
Oh, in that one, the breakup movie.
No, that was her butt, right? Like,
I don't know.
She did some light butt work.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they say
they marketed movies like that. It made money.
Yeah, they say that they had the filming from, like, a lot of those sets. You got to have footage of the other stuff. Where's that?
It was a time where there was this, either they took everybody's cell phone or
people were cool, bro. I don't believe it, though. I don't believe in people being cool.
They must have... Because I know sometimes they ask for a closed set, and then it's just literally like the director and a camera guy, so that like no one else could. It's like some lighting guys with their with
That's
his
kind of
iPhone.
creepy too, though, right? You know, when you show up, you know, it's just the director. He's just for me.
It is right. But I guess it's like the less light. You don't want too many people seeing it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's COVID crazy in a lot of movie sets right now. Like they're all freaking out. Like some are getting shut down. You know, like things are because we've been a little looser with things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, I know. That's full on open, baby.
Yep, we're here. We got to take a break.
Yep. Bye.